All right, guys. Fula with another commentary. Before I do that, I did get an update from a, a brother of mine, not necessarily biological brother, but a brother who is in Ukraine, and he said that obviously the best way to go out of Ukraine as an African is definitely you want to go out towards Romania. They've been the most, I guess you can say, accommodating, the most hospitable, giving food, giving shelter. So if this message reaches you, the best way to go is to go out in Romania. That's the best way to get out of Ukraine. Now, I kind of want to go into something because, you know, because of the whole feminist push and things like that, because of the whole agenda for feminism, for gender equality, and things like that, you have these women, Belejo and Denejo alike, who take it a step further. And not only Belejo and Denejo, but also you have, Hispanics as well, who have now taken this banner and ran with it and feel it and deem it necessary to actually, have it, have these sentiments. So what happens is you have women who think they can compete against men in sports, and it's like, well, you really can't. You really can't compete against a man in the sport unless that man is just very weak and just like he's just not built for the truck, as they say. Like you really can't compete against a man in the sport. It's just something that can't be done. It's not going to be an even playing field. The thing is, if you look at biological differences, our bodies, our bone structures, and things like that are built differently. So, I mean, you think you can compete, but you can't. Let's look at a couple of videos showing that, like, yeah, you can't compete. Let's see. This is a video with women who thought they can play a pickup game with men in football. Let's see how it goes. Ball between the legs. Easy goal, and he has a laugh like it ain't about nothing. You know, you see these things, you see them. Okay, let's see. Oops, oops, oops. Hmm. Oops. Look at the passing. Oops, 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 oops. Sorry, but it's just the reality. It's like those dudes were steps ahead of the women. See another one. Now I'm not gonna watch all of this video, but um, I want to show you know just how the differences are. Let me show you guys. So this is co-ed doubles tennis, and I don't know why they would do this. Why they would have the women serve to men, and the men serve to women, and not the women serve to women, and the men serve to men. But I don't think it would make much of a difference because it would still be the same result. But let's go ahead and look.
I think you're referring to the fact that I said she'd be about 700 in the world.
Yeah.
What do you think, Charlie? You're a tennis guy. You like to play tennis. I see you on the tennis court. What do you think that Serena Williams would be ranked if she played in a men's
I have
game?
no idea.
Well, if you had a guess.
She seemed pretty strong to me. I mean,
Very strong. The
but
greatest female player ever.
Okay, we can't. Nobody.
You see the women next to him, right? He has to play. He has to be politically correct, so he doesn't accept these feminists and these Western women, man. So you see how he has to be politically correct. But let's look at the reality.
Would you like to apologize?
No. But
He's holding his line down though because he's a guest.
offer is that why don't you combine, just solve the problem? I'm sure the men would be all for this. The men and women play together, and then we don't have to guess.
Cool. Be near a 20.
Easy work. Easy work. Easy work. Easy work. Easy work. It's like no contest, bro. It's like a shutout. Straight out, shutout. Shout out to Roger Federer.
This we know for sure.
40, 50.
That's the one I'm waiting for. Giving the ball away if you just cross willy-nilly.
13.
You know what? That's just.
Game 10 minutes.
It's hit it 3-2.
And women may say, "Oh, why didn't he go easy on him? Why didn't he go easy?" That's what you signed up for, man. If you go against a man and you think you can beat the man, a real man is naturally inclined to show you what time it is and be relentless at doing so.
What you said is a lob. There's that one down the middle. Shouldn't be that way. Oh, come on, John. No, I knew that was coming. It's a bomber.
Actually, it's funny because Andy Murray, he was just joking about himself and him playing a match. And men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. I'm like, if I were to play Andy Murray, I would 6-0, 6-0 in 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Completely different sport. The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game, and I love it.
At least she admits it. At least she's willing to admit the truth, of the matter. But let other women tell it and they won't admit the truth.
Play women's tennis, and I don't want to be embarrassed. I would not do the tour. I wouldn't do Billie Jean any justice. So Andy, stop it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you kill me.
The enemy doesn't care. Gender you are. 21, come out here.
Number 16 stuff.
16, step forward.
No injuries.
Okay, now this next video I'm going to show is very graphic, and this was done in Mexico, where a woman who wanted to show her daughter that she can do the, do the impossible, that she can do, like, of course, what guys can do, right? She wanted to show her daughter this, but it ended up pretty bad for her, this situation that she found herself in. And let this be, let's take a few lessons from this, this thing. And please don't be fooled by these Instagram fitness models and these Instagram, people who like show themselves, like lifting and things like that. Don't be fooled and don't be gassed up by this, please. The first mistake is they only have one spotter. If you're lifting this much weight, you need at least 2 spotters, 3 to be holding you in order to lift it. Someone has to be behind you in order to lift these things. You can't do it like this. They just messed up altogether, man. It's for real. That's no good. You need to have spotters there. You can't just have one spotter, and that's her daughter. Her daughter ain't gonna be able to lift that up. Come on now, man. See? There's only one spotter. You need 2. Yeah, that's not cool. But I'm going to end this video there out of sensitivity. I don't want to show the whole thing. But I'm just saying, again, that comes from these women thinking that, unfortunately, that they're strong as men and things like that. Me, even when I lifted, I think I squatted, during track and field days, you had to squat big for explosion. So I think when I squatted like 5 plates, I needed someone to spot me. I couldn't just do it myself. I needed like 2 spotters, 3 sometimes. I don't know why I don't know why the gym would even let this happen. As a matter of fact, the gym should be held accountable for, even not looking out and saying, oh, shoot, she's going to need some spotters. But let's go ahead and look at something else. I want to look at something else to tell you the difference between a modern woman and a traditional woman. Okay, let me see something. Shout out to my man Darius for the video. Here we go.
Tired of your normal 9 to 5? Want to make money like this? Then download HiRec free from the App Store today. Be deployed
And y'all get jokes about it. And
Okay, so here's a Belejo woman who is actually in the army, and she is actually afraid of getting deployed to Ukraine. But again, this is what you sign up for. You know, it's like anything in life. This is what is going to be expected of you. Even when my dad signed up for the PAIGC, he knew that since he was a newcomer, he had to go front line. You know what I mean? After his training, he had to go front line because he was a newcomer. You know what I mean? So with that being said, with that being said, like there was no excuses. Right? There was absolutely no excuses for him not to go front line, you know, and face the enemy. Even in the Haitian Revolution, and even in my pop's conflict, if you didn't go front line, you were either like disciplined very severely, or sometimes you were even killed. You know what I mean? You were even executed for being a coward. So let's look at her. And then we're going to look at some women soldiers who actually did go in the front line, but they were traditional women.
If anything, I really just want people to be like wanting to go to war. And how people are so insensitive, especially like, but so I just want to make this TikTok because I was just on live this morning, and of course we all know Russia invaded Ukraine. But in this TikTok, like, of course, you know, okay, I'm in uniform. Everybody knows what's going on. So, of course, everybody coming in with the Ukraine, Russia, and all of that, you know, comments or whatever, asking questions. And I'm just like, I'm not here for that. I'm not addressing any of that. But then, like, it's just like, I really hated how people are so insensitive, especially, like, and it's like, it's the civilians. But they're so insensitive to, like, what military people really go through. This is my first term. And like, it's like y'all, like, what makes me so mad is like y'all are so insensitive. Y'all want to talk about, oh, this is what you signed up for, this is what you, nobody goes into the military wanting to go to war, thinking they're going to go to war. I'm financed, for crying out loud.
And unfortunately, there's been some African women who have taken this route too. Yeah, I told them not to go to the United States military, but they did it anyway. I'm not gonna cap. You get good benefits from being in the military. If you're a veteran, you get hella good benefits. I'm telling you, you get very, very good benefits. That's all they went for, but sometimes it's a trap, and you're gonna find yourself front line. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I know some people who have had dishonorable discharges. They've like faked the funk, saying that, oh, I can't go, and things like that, and all types of things. So you know, these women, man, I don't even know anymore, bro. I really don't know. I don't know anymore, for real. Well, let's hear her.
Nobody thinks this is going to happen. But, like, civilians, y'all get to go home, y'all get to go to y'all families, y'all go to work, y'all know what y'all life is going to be. My life is so unpredictable. I could be deployed within the next few days. Like, I really just, like, I didn't come into the army for this. And it's just, it really, like, it kind of, it hurts me, like, and I don't really like to let stuff affect me, but this is affecting me because this is my life. But if anything, I really just want people to be like, be more sensitive to the situation, because this is my life we're talking about. Like, there's potential that, like, honestly, like, there's potential that anybody going over there can't come back, won't come back. So it's just, I don't even know why I'm making this, but it's just like people talking about the situation. Like, please just keep in mind, these are real people, people that have families, people that have children, and y'all making jokes about it, and y'all this and y'all all of that, and these trolls. I'm like, these are real people, real life situations. Like, please just be sensitive to stuff, cause like, I'm not gonna lie to any of you, I'm scared as hell right now. I'm just, but to all my battles out there, good luck to all of us, because
So she said to all my baddies out there.
oh man,
You know why women become police officers and stuff like that? They do it because it's that opportunity that they'll be able to have authority over a man. I remember even coming back to LA yesterday, there was this TSA agent, a woman. She was very disrespectful, and I checked her. You know what I mean? I checked her. But in me checking her, they pulled me to the side. They talked to me and stuff like that and started asking me all these questions and what have you. But yeah, I checked her, because when women get a position of authority, especially when that position happens to be over a man, especially if that woman dislikes men, forget about it. Forget about it. For real.
God, this has not been an easy morning. I was up till 2 a.m. last night, and then it's just like the army's not the only thing going on in my life right now. So it's just like this is just more added on to it, but we strong. We gonna get through it.
Strong, independent woman. This was her a couple of weeks ago, though. Before this.
A few moments.
But let me show you some dignified women. Let me show you some women who actually played the traditional role, but also, the men recognize that, hey, we may need these women to realize our goal. And their goal was, I want to say, independence, Their goal was independence from an imperialistic power of Ethiopia. But let's look at these women. I think the language is going to be in Tigrinya, so we're just going to browse through it and we're going to look at what they did.
This one is for everyone leaving work.
I know a place.
ስለምንታይ እንታይ ኢልኩም ኣይተቃወሙኒ ኢለ ተቃዊሞምኒ እዮም ከም ምቕዋም ወይዳ ክርዳድ ቀዳድ ሽስቶ ንሕና ከይንምርዖ ኢላ ያ ከምዚኣ ኢላ ኢሎም በዓል ዳሊ ኣላ ይርሓሙ ብዙሕ ተዛሪቦም ብዙሕ ተቃዊሙ
ውላድ እስከመይ ትሪኦ ነርኪ ኣብ ቃልሲ ከም ኣንቃፊ
Okay, let's see.
ኣንቃፊ
ብጦፍ ድፋዕ ቀንያ ትምለስ ብፀይተን ወረ ድፋዕን ኣብኡ ዘሎ ብፆተንን ስለተምፃለን ብሃንቀውታ እየን ፅበያ
So you see women there. And imagine they had to still be mothers in this conflict. You know what I mean? But do you see them complaining? Do you see them talking about, oh, I'm so scared. Oh, I can be deployed at any day.
ዝኾነ ነገር ትገብረሎም ንዖም ትሕግዞም ኣብቲ መዓልታዊ ማሕበራዊ ሂወታቶም እቲ ንሶም ክገብርዎ ዘይክእሉ ትምልኣሎም ሰብ እያ ናይ ሓደ መስርዕ ናይ ሓደ ጋንታ ኣዶ ኮይና እያ ትነብር ዘላ ነዚ ሂወት እዚ ከዓኒ እዚ ምጥናስን እዚ ቆልዓዝን ነዚ ናይ ብፆታ ፍቅርስ ይቃፀፀሎ
So you see, guys, these women, the women from the EPLF, they, you know, they whatchamacallit, they did their thing. You know, they did what they did. They helped the men, you know, in this regard. They fought alongside the men. You know what I mean? Let's see one more video.
The best place to commit oneself into, especially said people who had the vision about the future of Eritrea.
መሬት ደኣምበር ህዝቢ ኣየድልየናን እዩ ዝብል ቃል ሃይለ ስላሴ ምስተዘንዘረ እቲ ህዝቢ ኢደ ስደትን ኢደ ምንዋፅን ኮይኑ
DPLF decided to withdraw to the northern part of Eritrea around Nakfa. This was
he encounters. He is in the field in the front. He has to manage war injuries and as well as medical patients who come in so malaria problem, another problem. There were a lot of barefoot doctors. More than 2,000 barefoot doctors were trained there. Of course, the training is continuous because the war of liberation demands some go and some continue. So we trained a lot of barefoot doctors and battalion doctors. That's
Following the model of the Viet Cong guerrilla organization, they lived in dugouts and fought during the hours of darkness. Command posts, hospitals, and fuel dumps were all below ground in order to avoid enemy air attacks. Low ground in order to avoid enemy air attacks. Financial support for the EPLF came from Eric.
So you see the women here, you know, they're fighting. Do you hear them complaining or saying, oh, you know, I got to go to the front line? Maybe perhaps to the causes in which America fights for are bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's why these women feel entitled. You know what I mean? All these Belejo and Dinejo women, for the most part, have their cake and eat it too in this country. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
Do you think it was good to have women fighters? طبعا برضو نحن قلنا دائما
So here's a Muslim, leader in Eritrea, and he is talking about the women fighters. Let's hear what he has to say. At first, they were opposed to the idea of women taking up arms. The colonial yoke and the Ethiopian government forced us to send our daughters and sons to the front. If we hadn't all fought all together, we've never have won. So I'm not opposed to this women fighting alongside men. I'm not opposed to that. What I am opposed to is women thinking that they run shit when they're fighting, but besides men. Or what I am opposed to is women thinking that they know more when it comes to working with men, doing things that are not really conventionally things that women do. That's what I'm opposed to, okay? So let's look at one more example and then we'll end it here. Shout out to my great aunt Teresa for this interview. She's a woman fighter. She was a woman fighter. Let's listen to what she has to say.
To engage in a place that you know. Spirito di colonialismo. Cabral nella sua strategia. And in the Cabral strategy as well. E che non falava eles come di união. And what we said about the union. Não só pedir para not only to ask people to unite. Mas na prática eu usava a strategia de tomar gente do norte e leva sul. He used to get people from north to south. Tanto mais de leste e leva oeste. And then he used to get people from east to west. E que lá está criando essa família. And then he created their family. Problema de regionalismo que está aqui. And that way there is no regionalism. Que faz de tribalismo. And there is no tribalism. Porque uma para de língua de que causa, uma para de filho com mulheres lá. Because you're going to create a family there, you constitute and you have a family, and then you're going to speak that local dialect. Problema que está no Catarina notado. And that problem wouldn't be noticed. Que la ayudaron chico. That helped us a lot. Porque o último tempo criando também problema. And then lately he also created us a bit of problem. A criação do exército. In the creation of our army. Então podia dos balanta, dos mandinga, dos pepe, dos. He used to pick different tribes. Ele fazia grupo. And then he formed one group. Que lá também ajudaram na system. And that also helped us in the strategy. Bom, nesse programa mais. In the long-term program of Amilcar Cabral. Lá já que problema tem mais grave. And that's where the problem lies. Porque contava pro. Because he even said it before he died. Para luta. To go to the fight. It's not everybody. But all the good independence. But after the independence, everybody is people from everybody is Guinea-Bissauan, so everybody has. They have equal right.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Para criar qualquer estrutura. E também number has to also go on. Para tudo usa estrutura que para criar qualquer estrutura. In his program and his strategy, in his principles, adaptar sistema. Adapt a system. fala kuma bo na committee na committee que tem cinco. So in every committee there are 5 people. Those obrigatoriamente deve ser mulher. 2 has to be women.
So Amilcar Cabral, aka Abel Jassy, he understood the importance of women and what have you, but unlike today's feminism, or unlike what you see today, he had checks and balances. Today, you know, these modern women, man, literally, like, it's like they'll throw the whole book at you trying to show that, hey, you know, we're better, we're stronger than you, you know, we're smarter than you. I was even in a Clubhouse conversation when actually this woman said, and she actually said this, she actually said, women are smarter than men. She said this. She actually said this.
Obrigatoriamente. That is compulsory. If it's going to be a committee of 10 people, the woman number has to also go on. But tudo usa estrutura que ela criar, obrigatoriamente. Every structure that they're going to create, the woman has to be among. No, no estatuto.
And I agree with this because it creates the balance, you know, for society, you know, especially if you're coming from a war-torn society, you know, you're gonna have to have like a balance in order for that society to be like cohesive, for that society to be successful. You can't have a society that's like one-sided. You have to have like a society that's like cohesive, a society that's balanced. So with that being said, this is very good. This is very good stuff, bro. For real.
Va a crear cualquier estructura, obrigatoriamente. It's compulsory, woman has to be in every structure. E também, ele está falando como macho, mulher, you say woman and a man are the same. Tem mesmo direito. They have equal right. Por isso mesmo ele está falando.
So men and women should have equal rights, but it must be understood that genetically, biologically, even mentally, men and women are different, you know. But the modern woman, essentially she's pretty much hyper masculine, so, you know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, and I don't know if they realize this, is that when women are like this masculine and stuff like that, when they do, it affects like even how they talk, like their tone of voice, you know what I mean? Well, you would think like a woman who's pretty, like she'll be pretty, good looking, but when she talks, her voice is like hella deep and stuff like that, you know? It's sad, man.
Pequenino, de 7 anos, por exemplo, ou mais pequenino, põe na escola. That's why you used to say, take a child of 7 years, take a boy and a girl, put them in a school. Se acabar a escola, pôr na universidade. If they finish school, put them in university. Se acabar a universidade deles, trabalho igual. If they finish university, give.
So, I'm gonna just stop there with these things, but you guys get my point though. Like, you guys really get my point that, you know, there's the African way of doing things, and then there's the Nejo American way of doing things. And you see how it's not working for them, you know. I would never, ever, if I was a general, for her own safety, I would never want to deploy. I would never even enlist that woman in the army. Because if you're in a wartime situation and you're talking to a son of a soldier, if you're ever in a wartime situation and the person next to you is panicking or is afraid, then your life is in double the danger. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now. Fuller signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. I'm John Arma.